Hola, buenos días a todos.
Hello, good morning everyone. Thank you very much for coming here to this particular panel discussion. And I'd like to thank the organisers for inviting me to take part in it as well. I'm going to be talking a little bit about cybersecurity and all the rest of it, but the main question is Industry 4.0 more sustainable or not? And really, rather with security, it has to do with society and economy and the environment than it does with ITC. It's a difficult question to answer for two main reasons. First of all, there aren't very many scientific or technical studies about the impact of Industry 4.0 on the environment. In society, we talk a lot about employment, about different impacts, but there aren't enough studies, in-depth studies, in this particular impact of it. And also, because Industry 4.0 is still being implemented in our industrial fabric. Now, we've seen some examples here, but there's still a lot of work yet to be done. There's a lot of things to be implemented. Until we have a greater degree of implementation, it's very difficult to calculate whether or not it's going to be sustainable. I'm going to see if I can, see if this works, so I can go through my slides. I've got some videos as well. I don't know if they're going to work. My videos aren't going to work. That's a shame. Doesn't matter. Well, something that we have to bear in mind when we're talking about implementing Industry 4.0 is if the companies involved in this digitalization process are actually seeing or realizing or actually look at the environmental impact of their processes as something that has to be taken into account. Now, we believe that I think digitalization is going to provide us with a lot of data to enable us to carry out models and to simulate not just the metrics and the tolerances, but also digitalization is going to enable us to see the impact and to visualize the impacts that we're having. So my talk, rather than trying to answer the question about whether it's going to be sustainable or not, what I'm going to try to do is to describe to you the framework of reference which exists and the tools which currently exist which will enable us to interpret and calculate the environmental impact of companies and try to mitigate them. Because often in the vision and the mission of different companies, it's based on your vision and your mission. This is really what it all comes down to. And your environmentally friendliness will depend on your philosophy. Now, the environment also gives us a series of services, and if we don't look after it, we will lose them. And also, looking after the environment will help us to improve everything and to bring about an inclusive and fair society, and it will enable us to develop different types of economies and economics, which will provide us with income and reduce poverty and bring about a better distribution of wealth. Now, I think when we look at industrialization, we sometimes forget about all these other aspects, and it's important to remember them. Now, there were two videos here. On the left-hand side, there was a lovely video about nature, and on the right-hand side, I'm sure you've all seen Matrix. You've seen the screen where all the numbers are falling down it like rain. So Matrix is a sort of, quite a funny way of looking at the future, but it's a possible future. Now, what happens? When these two worlds come together, what happens to them? Is it sustainable? And all of this has to do with products, consumers, technologies, priorities, and politics. Now, Industry 4.0 will be sustainable in as far as it is able to generate products which consume less energy in their manufacturing, in their use, and which have reusable components, components that can be used for more than one purpose or more than one time, or in the case of the mobile telephones, for example, actually Well, mobile telephones, if we look at that, it's a very special case. We are making better use of the material resources using them because we now use our mobile phones for all sorts of things. We no longer have cameras. They use as cameras, for example, so that's one device instead of two. But in order to bring this about, there has to be a certain degree of commitment. We heard that a survey was carried out in the Basque Country, and I think 85% of respondents said they were aware of environmental issues and committed to environmental issues, but the survey also said that we're actually not very willing to make sacrifices. For example, catching an aeroplane. We wouldn't be willing not to catch an aeroplane in order to reduce our environmental impact. If you had any idea of how much CO2 is released every time you take an aeroplane, then perhaps people would think about it twice. But all of this, again, we're here to talk about the optimization of processes and new technologies and technologies which are being developed. Hopefully they're going to, well, they will, be targeted at making companies more efficient. So we will be using fewer materials, less energy. So I think, a priori, it seems to be a good thing. But as I said before, it's the mission and the vision of the companies which is really going to be the deciding factor here to make sure that Industry 4.0 will actually bring about an environmental improvement. And politics and policies are very important. We can have environmentally friendly public purchasing. We heard this morning that the local council in Barcelona, in order to reduce the use of cars, is actually offering 3 years of free public transport to try to reduce CO2 emissions in the city of Barcelona. So there are many policies that can be enacted, and some of them that we are seeing are very creative. Here on this screen, you can see how we see Industry 4.0. Now, we're living in a world in which everything is connected, and we can be connected all the way along the value chain. So let's imagine that. We believe that there's a lot of value in the Internet of Things. The fact that you can control your central heating in your house, depending on the temperature, depending on your needs, through a device which is connected to your mobile telephone. That means that you can reduce consumption, so that's a good thing. I'm sure that all of this, if we can apply it to an individual, we can apply it to companies as well. Now, here, with regard to in the environment, monitoring is very important. We need to have a greater degree of monitoring of environmental aspects in the business world and in the company world. And I think this qualitative leap forward towards Industry 4.0 will enable us to do that and will create positive dynamics in this sense. Simulation, modeling, and virtualization. Again, this is a positive aspect. We can simulate processes. We can know beforehand. Often we can anticipate problems, which makes everything more sustainable. Big data, those of us who work in the environmental side of things, big data enables us to actually spread the word about what's happening in each individual company, but also outside the company itself with suppliers, we can study trends, we can study dominant behaviors. Now, many of you who are here today will have at home at least one old mobile telephone stuck in a drawer somewhere. You don't really know what to do with it. And there's no operating system that will make it work anymore. So this whole idea of big data and what happens with the mobile telephones, we can help manufacturers be aware of what's going on so that they can, in fact, improve the life cycle of all of their products. I'm not going to talk about new technologies and cybersecurity. Again, we've heard about this. Now, we believe that cybersecurity is very important because it will enable us to guarantee the quality of the information that we are receiving. I don't have time to go through all of this, but these are the main things that enable us to reach out to the customer. These are the main advantages, because it will enable us to be closer to our customers. we can also be flexible. It enables us to create links to the end customer so that the product itself can have a longer lifetime, a life cycle. As I said before, flexibility. If I set up a production line at a certain moment in time, I can connect it to renewable energy and classical energy supply systems, and then depending on the production load that I have, then I can decide which type of energy to consume. And, or for example, if I can use, if I have quite a long deadline, then maybe I can use renewable energies, even though things slow down a little bit, but I will be reducing my emissions, for example. Optimize the decision making. What should we say about that? It's very, very important to actually make the right decisions. Also, with regard to productivity and efficiency, these are very important issues as well. As I said, I'm really doing very, very badly for time, so I'm just going to rush through this as well. But what is it that Industry 4.0 offers us? Well, it enables us to carry out online control. And also because it can overcome some of the barriers and enable us to get hold of very reliable data. People are very, very scared of not getting the right sort of data. And it is important as well. We also have to protect confidentiality, and that will help us as well. And also we can monitor the environmental impact as another process variable. And that's something that the tools offer us. Because measuring is knowing. If we don't measure, then we don't know. And if we don't know, we can't act responsibly. So again, I'm just going very quickly through this. I wanted to give you some references here, because you might all not understand really what sustainability is. But there are some general references so that everyone has their own ideas. There's the different the sustainability goals, or the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development has 17 goals, sustainable development goals. We have social ones that has to do with equality, empowerment of women, hunger and poverty. But it also has references there that has to do with the environment, conserving the rivers, the seas, reduce the impacts of climate change, etc. And in here you can find frameworks and references that you can apply to your activities. So I want to get to the examples because otherwise you won't really understand what I'm trying to say. But very quickly, another global framework of reference is what you can see here. Has to do with the ecosystem services. So this is what nature offers us, and there are 4 categories. Regulation, on the one hand, all the different capacities of ecosystems to regulate essential environmental systems, for example, clean water, etc., and air and oxygen, quality of the air. This is all through the vegetation, etc. And there's others as well. But now I'm going to go to the life cycle analysis here, for example, the tool that we have. When we talk we often talk about very general concepts when we're talking about in the environment, but a company needs something very specific. They need indicators, they need a tool, they need something very specific which will enable them to measure their own performance and improve their own performance. So our proposal is a life cycle analysis, because this is a very good tool. It can be applied to processes, to services, to products, and it's also a very objective tool. It's a systematic tool. It's a tool that can actually be a scientific tool as well if you put in the right data. What you basically do is you carry out an inventory of all the different environmental impacts. You quantify the different impacts, you divide them into categories, and then it provides you with very, very interesting data. I brought a couple of examples here of the life cycle analysis. Now here is a company using Industry 4.0. This company has increased its production and has reduced the amount of propylene that it uses in 100 grams per car. So with a car that travels 8,000 kilometers a year for 12 years as well, these 100,000 vehicles, in fact, we're talking about 258 cubic tons of CO2, and again, 95 tons, metric tons of crude oil, with just a very small impact, a very small change in the company. So if we don't look at 12 years, we look at 6 days, for example. If we look at the aeroplanes from Barcelona to Brussels, it's 250 kilos of CO2 per person, one flight. I'm not entirely sure, but if we stop flying for a week, from Bilbao to Brussels, for example, it's very similar to go to Barcelona. It's more or the same. If we stop flying from Bilbao to Brussels, we're talking about 1,300 people who fly, then we can actually reduce emissions by the same amount as 12 years. So what LCA, Lifecycle Analysis, does is enable you to see this. Obviously, this is very good, this is fantastic, but you can actually go one step further using LCA. If there's a strike, for example, and people stop flying for a week, then we reduce CO2 emissions by a huge amount. Now, let's have a look at electric cars. Here we are. I've just got this one and I'm finishing. Okay, so we all think that the electric car, electric vehicles is going to be the solution for emissions, CO2 emissions in cities, and it's true, of course, because car emissions are very local, but there's a limit, there's a threshold value. There's a limit of 550 equivalent kilowatts, 559 grams of CO2 equivalent per kilowatt hour. So you have to look at where the electricity comes from. The electricity that is used in the car comes from often power stations. So in a country, if there is, in the mix of the electricity generation in the country, it's above this threshold. If the mix means that it comes from fossil fuel power stations, then over and above this threshold, we're not actually helping the environment at all by using electric cars. So again, this is something that we can see when we use this tool, the life cycle analysis. It's a tool that you can use and apply to all your control processes. You can use it just like any other variable. Now, this really is the very, very last one. I promise. I'll just look at this one, and I will then stop talking, I promise. So the strategies are always the same. Whether or not Industry 4.0 is going to be sustainable, it has to do with prevention, with the circular economy, it has to do with using and applying the 3 Rs, and also to use materials much better. Thank you very much, and I apologize for going so very fast.